The wonderful Wingits. So here's the thing about this show. When I was talking before about Troutman and how I could easily find the IMDb and find out about the creator, it was really hard to find anything out about this online. Partly because it kept auto-correcting, and the tweet where I said where I was going to review auto-corrected to the wonderful Wing Nuts constantly. And like I couldn't find Wingits, and it was hard to Google who the creator was and all these things. This show and how they market these and whoever creates them, please set up an IMDb, make it a little more searchable, because this just like, in terms of searchability, this was sort of a nightmare, I gotta say. This one has a different vibe than the other three. It's a little more relaxed. I would say one of the things about a lot of the shows, these shorts that have come out, they're all fantasy influenced, like Troutman, Beetle and Bean, Mao Mao, all the Cartoon Network stuff. It's very fantasy influenced. This, I would say, actually feels like a old fantasy cartoon. This doesn't feel hyperactive as much. This feels much more calmed down. I wouldn't say subtle, but it's just like more slowed down, not as chaotic. Like, if this was a kid's imagination, this kid didn't have as many candy bars and no-dos or whatever. Like Troutman. This is much more calmed down. So it's weird watching them in a row. I sort of like the vibe to it. Basically, it's about a traveling caravan theater troupe of various animals. And they're about to play a big town. This one kid wants to be a part of it, but he's too young. And then while he's helping promote that they're going to be doing this big play, sees these weird little people that he accidentally crushes. And it accidentally breaks his sister's leg, who is very much an actor and is very excited to play this part, but can't because she broke her leg. And then he's going to do it, and hilarity ensues. But it was an interesting idea to do a show about a caravan theater, because there's possibilities of them doing different plays, going to different towns, things like that. I don't know if that's like that's like a cartoon that sounds interesting to, a weird art movie kind of concept. And I sort of appreciate it as a short. I don't really see it as much like fitting with Cartoon Network. It feels very different. In a good way, actually, because it feels very much like a weird fantasy sort of thing. It did build, I would say, on me at the end. Like, I really was like, what is this? This feels like a cartoon. As a kid, I would just sort of sit through to get through other cartoons, because that's what you used to have to do with Saturday morning. This felt like that, and it would sort of grow on you after a while. But this one definitely did. I sort of like the vibe of it. I like the characters in it. I like the bigger world in it. It doesn't feel as like madcap and crazy as we're used to with Cartoon Network kind of stuff, and especially with these other two shorts that very much felt in line with that. This feels like in a whole different sort of world. The creator, whose name I'm definitely going to mess up, it's Licha Abreu Silva, was in the art department and a writer on Victor and Valentino and the Powerpuff Girls reboot. Yeah, I kind of appreciate that she didn't make it feel as Cartoon Network-ish. I actually really appreciated that she kind of made it out of a different cloth that felt kind of cooler to me. I kind of like that. Especially after you watch those two, you're like, oh, is this just Cartoon Network now? And it feels like she was like, well, what if we're more relaxed? What if, I may have seen Fanny and Alexander or something? That's what I got from this. So I did like that different sensibility to it. I don't know if I really want to watch this show, and to be honest, I don't think I would. And I think of these three, it probably is, even though I think people generally liked it, I think it's the least pick-upable, but I did enjoy it. I just when we're looking at these, we're sort of looking at these as pilots, and as a pilot, I don't really think it goes very far, but I will say if I did watch it, I'd probably enjoy it, but I don't know if I'd actually really seek it out. It doesn't evoke much passion, but while it's on, you're having a good time anyway. So I think, if people still watch TV like, they did in my day, sure, but I think in our current era, I don't think it arises much passion, but it's a pleasant watch while you're watching it regardless of that. And I do appreciate that the wonderful Wingits kind of did a kind of a different vibe to it. Alright,